New update, Dota 2 7.37e, new gameplay update starting today on the 20th November 2024. So let's see what we got here. But quickly before I talk about this patch, I just wanted to talk about the patch 7.37d that we got about 2 months ago, because I didn't really talk about it when I talked about the new hero Cass or Ringmaster. So 7.37d was introduced after the international in 2024 in Copenhagen, and basically what they did was the Bracer got nerfed with the double bonuses. All support heroes but many core heroes also. So most of the 5 players, they bought 2 Bracers, sometimes even 3, in the laning stage and early game, and they kept it through the mid game because at minute 25 it doubled. Then Gleipnir got a little bit nerfed, but I see nowadays people still buy Gleipnir on some heroes. The same that happened with Bracer also happened to Null Talisman. A lot of int heroes, but also some agility or strength heroes. They also bought 2 Null Talisman. Not really 3, but 2. They nerfed Pipe a little bit, but it's still got people still buy Pipe. Especially now you see some experiments by pro players. They play Terrorblade offlane with Pipe. I personally don't like it that much. I rather have some X that jumps in, just to have an example. But it works because the Terrorblade Aghanim shard is very broken. And if you get to the mid-late game without too many mistakes, Terrorblade offlane can actually work. It's not your typical offlaner though, that has some stun, Beastmaster, X, Shaker, maybe Primal Beast and many more. And they also nerfed the Wraith Band. People bought 2 or 3 Wraith Bands, but for example on Invoker you can still buy 2 Wraith Bands. And they also nerfed the Pavis Solar Crest for mostly support heroes, position 5. They kept using Pavis and Solar Crest on carry heroes. And what they also did is they nerfed some heroes that were picked at the international a lot, which would be, if I just scroll down a little bit, Clockwork was picked a lot. His expanded armature facet was very strong, and they are no longer pulled to the center of the formation. They are placed inside as far away from the center as possible. So this was a nerf to Clockwork. Then they also nerfed, let's see here, they didn't really nerf Dragon Knight, it's still very strong. They nerfed Gyro, is still strong, didn't nerf him. Huskar strong, Invoker strong. What was it? They nerfed Kunkka offlane a little bit. Lich is still strong. Lifestealer is strong. They nerfed the Lone Druid. Stat bonus no longer applies to items in the neutral slot. And you could have 3 items on your Lone Druid. Lone Druid was very, very powerful. Luna is still powerful, even though Lucent Beam no longer grants bonus damage when hitting illusions. They also nerfed Marcy a little bit. You don't see Marcy position 5 as much. They nerfed Medusa a little bit, but Medusa is still picked. They nerfed Mirana a little bit, but it's still, and it's not seen I only see Mirana in pubs, not in pro games. And which else? Nature's Prophet was nerfed a little bit because it won the DI final. Team Liquid won against Gaming Gladiators 3 games in a row with core, carry, or mid Nature's Prophet, but it's still picked a little bit here and there. And these heroes are still picked sometimes. PL is not that good. What else? Ringmaster was nerfed a little bit. Shadow Demon, Sand King are still picked, but Sand King was picked a lot. Now he's picked way less on offlane. Shaman is still being played a lot. This new Shadow Shaman is very powerful. You try to finish him, but he just turns into 4 chicken illusions, and you can micro them. If you're very good at microing, you sometimes escape. You can even cast Hex on your teammate, so Shadow Shaman is still very powerful. Sniper is still very powerful mid. I don't like Sniper position 4. I don't know why people pick it. Sometimes it works, but it's very greedy. Why would you do this? Why don't you pick some Rubik or Shaker Nyx where you have a reliable stun? Why do you do this Sniper position 4? It's very greedy. It's not that overpowered like Terrorblade offlane, where if you're a good team you can make it work. TB gets some pipe and turns into a second carry or third core carry. Sniper position 4, I saw so many matches lose with him. I won a lot of matches against Sniper position 4, and I lost a lot of matches with Sniper position 4. I think if you play this hero, you should play mid. He's very strong mid. And Treant, not many changes here. Tusk got nerfed. The drinking buddies was one of the main reasons at the international people picked this hero. Very, very powerful spell. With this facet, you just jump on your teammate, you get so much movement speed. Now it's such low movement speed on level 1, 2, and 3. So even if you max it, you only get strong at level 7. Alt cast behavior now is 50% of base spells cast range. So you don't see Tusk that much. It was also good for Tusk to have a kind of reliable snowball, and you can make some plays with ice shots, and you have an ult that also stuns. Underlord was picked by Ace, for example, from Gaming Gladiators. They played it very well, I think. And if I speak about Gaming Gladiators, I watched a few matches from them with their new care player Watson instead of Triacho, and I feel like it's not the same team anymore. They basically played in a way where Triacho was very active. He pushed the safe lane towers, he fought at the enemy's triangle, he fought at the enemy jungle, pushed around lifestealer, Klings. It doesn't really matter what hero alchemist. He ran around the whole map from the opponents. He used the jungle very well, his own jungle, also opponent's jungle, and made a lot of space because Quinn often played heroes that needed some farm. Quinn is not your sacrificing mid player who picks some Storm Pango and just creates space all the time the way Sumail or Abed and these kind of mid players create a lot of space. Nisha created a lot of space. He's more a player that likes to also farm a lot. And Ace, he's also not your typical offlaner who just gets a blink dagger and jumps in with many offlane heroes. Instead, he also likes to play some heroes that need some time. Centaur builds blink, but often Centaur needs some farm, or he plays Broodmother, who also needs some farm. So they have this issue now with Watson that he is not your space creating carry player, but instead he farms a lot, like Burning or Revos did back in the days from the Chinese team and from Navi. Or if I think about some US player, Fear from former Evil Geniuses, he also played a lot of farming heroes while Sumail and Universe created space. So I'm a bit worried for the gaming gladiators that they will not find the same success with this Watson player. Not because he's a bad player, but then they have if you have three people who need a lot of farm and space, who you're not going to win against teams where teams that have a mid player or offlane player that likes to create space. I saw their match a few days ago where they picked Gyrocopter and Templar Assassin and Dragon Knight, if I recall it. And as supports, they had Muerta and Clockwork. How is this supposed to work? The casters even said they don't have enough space. They need this. You cannot pick in 7.37D. You cannot pick these heroes where 3 of your cores need a lot of farm. You need to pick someone for offlane or mid who creates space for you somehow. And I also am not a fan of Muerta position 4. I can understand you have some fear with your W and Q and some silence, but why would you rely on some fear from Muerta? His Q doesn't shoot that fast. It's unreliable. It's very hard to use it well, even if you play Muerta as carry. I don't really understand. I mean, it's fun to play the new hero. Muerta hasn't been in the game for too long, only for about 1 year, I think. But it's not so reliable. I wouldn't pick the hero personally. I would rather pick a reliable stun for my position 4. And Visage was a bit nerfed in this patch, if I continue here, because 3-3 really performed well with this hero. I also tried it out in my pubs, some different builds. It's a very good offlane hero. Recalling is now cancelled if familiars are in stone form. Soul Assumption no longer provides extra gold if the target dies before the projectile reaches them. The facet was also nerfed. And of course Wind Ranger was nerfed. You saw Wind Ranger picked almost every match at the International. You just run in, press your ulti, and you get a 1 hero, 2 heroes, 3 heroes. Maybe if they got ravaged or echo slammed from Tidehunter or Shaker, or if they get RP'd from Magnus, but Magnus wasn't picked as much. You even get 3, 4, 5 kills, triple kill, ultra kill, rampage. This was a very necessary nerf. So the biggest nerfs to the after TI patch, this would be Wind Ranger, Visage, Tusk, maybe Shadow Demon, Sand King, Puck a little bit, but it's still playable. Nature's Prophet a little bit. Naga a little bit was also picked at TI sometimes. Medusa only a little bit. Luna a little bit, but still strong and very, especially his W and with the Aghanim shard is so good on Luna. In just 1 second you take 1000 damage, or 1500, 2000. You cannot even react to this. Lone Druid nerfed. Gyro just a little bit nerfed, still pickable, wins you games. DK not nerfed much, still wins tournament games and finals. Yeah, Clockwork nerfed a lot. And yeah, other than that, this would be it for the TI patch. And I'm just gonna cut the video here and I'll make another one for the next patch because I just realized I've already talked again for about 16 minutes.